I asked Dr. Henning Meyer from the London School of Economics about the market reaction to Cyprus's controversial bailout plan and the potential fallout for the rest of the Eurozone.
Well, first of all, it was a very much a big surprise that took us all really by big surprise on Saturday morning, that effectively the European decision makers have decided to abolish the 100,000 euros guarantee, deposit guarantee across the Eurozone. This was especially surprising that they included very small-scale savers. So this was a very risky decision because obviously, as most commentators seem to agree, this risks creating bank runs, not just in Cyprus, but also in other European countries. So it was a very ill-thought-out decision. And it raises really questions about the decision-making process. I think it will be changed. It's almost a certainty now because of the outrage it has produced. And as I said, the initial decision was so ill thought out, and the immediate reactions, not just by markets, but also by commentators, by individual savers across the Eurozone, were so disastrous that there is no other chance other than going back on this. So as it looks right now, effectively the European Deposit Guarantee Scheme will remain intact. So meaning that deposits under 100,000 euros will be spared. How this will be compensated in terms of the contribution that Cyprus has agreed to contribute to the bailout, we will have to see. One option is obviously to increase the percentage of the levy on deposits of 100,000 plus. But the important thing is that the deposit insurance stays intact and small-scale savers will be spared. But again, even if they go back on this now, and it looks like there is no majority in the Cypriot parliament anyway for the original deal. So even if they now go back and basically say, well, it was all a big mistake and small-scale savers will be spared, it still remains, really doubtful how, in the first place, can you come to such a decision?
Well, the under $100,000 minimum, if those get spared, the deal still sets a significant amount of precedence throughout Europe.
Well, first of all, I mean, there was the case about the special case of Cyprus, because there are, to a large extent, also foreign deposits in Cypriot banks. So, and there is the suspicion that some of this is used as money, as laundered money from other places, Russia and other places. So, first of all, there was a political pressure not to use European bailout money to, prop up laundered money. So that was the backdrop for the inclusion of depositors in this deal. It will be now down to the Cypriot Parliament, as far as I understand, to come up with a solution that combines the two elements. The first element of actually sparing the small-scale Cypriot savers, but on the other hand, also imposing a levy on big deposits and making a contribution towards the bailout. If there is no deal to be found, the Cypriot banks will be insolvent very soon, and that has obviously big potential repercussions for the whole of the Eurozone banking sector. I mean, it is also important to stress, for instance, that part of the reason why the Cypriot banking sector is in such trouble is the reaction to what was done in the Greek case, because Cypriot banks were holding a lot of Greek bonds. So the haircut on Greek bonds has made the Cypriot banks suffer as well.
That was Henning Meyer from the London School of Economics.